estate broker of Elite Residential Realty, and today I'm visiting here with Dave Markowicz. Dave, please introduce yourself.
I'm Dave Markowicz. How are you? Thanks for having me today.
How long have you been with Elite Residential Realty?
I'm one of the originals. About 9 years.
Yes. And it's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, by the way, thank you for doing the show. This is awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. So tell me a little bit about yourself personally. So are you married?
I'm married. I'm going to be going on my 25th wedding anniversary.
You guys have kids?
We have 4 kids. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. My oldest is going to be 22. She is studying speech pathology at Northridge. My second girl is 18. She's a musician living in Nashville right now and going to university studying singer-songwriting. And she just released her first EP, which I'm super proud of. My third girl, I should name my kids.
Right.
So sorry about that. My oldest is Sarah. My second is Ariel. My third is Maya, and she is 17. She's going to be 17. 11th grader. And then my son.
She plays soccer, no?
Maya plays soccer. She's been playing soccer for forever. She's maybe since 5 years old, and she's awesome. And my son, my boy, finally got my boy. He 13. He just had his bar mitzvah, and he's into skateboarding, big time skateboarding and scootering. We even set up a skateboarding ramp in our backyard for him, so he's all into it. So those are my kids. Super proud of them. My wife is Tolly, since I didn't maybe not mention that.
Yes.
My lovely wife.
What do you like to do in your spare time, if there's even
Sleep. When you are running a business and have 4 kids, and by the way, I have 2 dogs as well, rescues, there's just not a lot of downtime and just always on the go. But no, seriously, if I can just grab a rest and just chill for a minute, just to kind of like slow down, I'm still trying to teach myself to do that.
That's great. What's the last book you read?
Well, speaking about books, I've made a goal of mine, and Orna's really got me onto doing my goals, which thank you for that. So at the beginning of the year, I decided I'm going to try to read about 1 book a week. Been getting close to it. I've actually read a lot. But the last book I read was actually a book by Deborah Fine. And she's a great book writer, if anybody knows who it is. She speaks about networking and keeping a conversation going as like an interview. Her famous book is The Fine Art of Small Talk, but the one I'm reading right now was made for kids. And it's about trying to get kids off their gadgets and conversing, because all these kids are like this all day long, and we want our kids, and I have that with all my kids, get off the gadget, and if you see someone, talk, and that's what this whole book's about. So I read it first, and now my 13-year-old is reading it.
So we had the pleasure of meeting Deborah in person. Amazing person. Enjoyed her speech tremendously, and I highly recommend pick up her book and read it.
Absolutely. She's a keynote speaker. She's phenomenal. So
we're still working on bringing her out here and hopefully introducing her to the community here.
Absolutely.
What kind of music do you like?
I am very into music. Been into music since I'm really, really young. And I used to play the bass guitar. I don't do it anymore. My daughter picked up all the instruments, Ariel, and she's really into it. But I have a range from anything from hard rock, metal, all the way now to country. And really, country is really where I'm into at this point. And I think transitioning of the way rock has gone into more of a country style, there's a lot of a mixture there, so I'm really into that.
Oh, that's great. Ariel likes sings country.
So my daughter, who's a singer, she's a country singer.
Yes. Who's your role model?
I don't have one.
You do not?
I do not have a role model.
Who do you kind of admire? Who do you follow? Who do you like to listen to?
So that's what it is. I really don't have one particular role model. Usually someone would say my parents. My dad passed away when I was 16, so I really didn't have that role model, so I kind of had to look at different areas. And role models, I would say for me at this point, is really about people who are entrepreneurs, marketing, Gary Vaynerchuk, Brian Tracy, people that speak about motivation and business. Those are the people I kind of look towards my tools at this point. To get information, it's very important to, get all the information in and dissect it and see what tools you can use from each person.
So whose video did you watch this morning?
Actually, I was watching a live video with Gary Vaynerchuk.
Love Gary.
Yeah. So, and I got interrupted, so I had to stop. But,
Okay. Where did you go on vacation last?
I just came back from Nashville. I could, even though it wasn't a real vacation, pseudo vacation, we dropped our daughter off to college. But my wife and I did have a few days, and it was great. So.
What's the favorite place you've ever been to?
In general?
Mm-hmm.
I would say Israel. I would say that, the Western Wall.
Okay, interesting. A little bit about real estate now.
Okay.
What was the most interesting transaction or deal, whichever way, or an experience that you had that's maybe a little bit unusual that you can share without mentioning names?
I will mention something that happened not too long ago. It wasn't a good thing, and I'm bringing it up only because I want people to understand in terms of a real estate transaction as realtors, there are things called disclosures. And disclosures are, if you're selling a house and you know something, you have to disclose it. It's a law. And we were in a transaction that we found out that someone very close to the house that we're selling, whether it's the next door or the 2 doors down, was a child molester. And we didn't search it out. It came to us by someone else doing some research that looked at a house, brought it to our attention. Now, as realtors, we now have to question, is that the case? And so that was a real eye-opening event. That was the first time that's happened to us. And it was interesting because you have to now disclose.
Of course.
So that was something that was pretty unusual. And I don't think many agents have that experience. So that's kind of,
Yes.
you always hear about it, but.
Yes. Who's the most interesting person you've ever met?
I don't have an answer for that. I just
Okay.
don't. I tend to think, I look at everybody that they all have something to bring.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say you're interesting. I can say my partner Netta is very interesting. Everybody is interesting. So in terms of somebody being over the top, no. Everybody has good and bad, interesting, whatever. No.
Okay, good answer. What do you love the most about selling real estate?
Not knowing what the next day is going to bring. Every day is different. Transactions are different. I also like, it's not all about selling. It's about marketing. I'm very into marketing and sales and marketing. I'm looking at how you take this, build it into something as a business, let's say, and developing it. And real estate is really all about that. People don't think that. They think, oh, I'm just going to put a sign up in front of a house. It doesn't work like that. Not even anymore with all the technology. There's a game plan, and you have to go above and beyond with that marketing strategy to do the best for your client. So that's really what I think what I love. It's not the same every day.
Okay. And a little plug-in for Elite. What is it that you like? Obviously, you've been here 9 years, so there's something
Look,
you like about being
I
here?
made the decision when I first got my license that I did not want to go work for a big agency. What's something I have that I don't like is office politics. I just tend to get into a big office and it's a schmooze fest and you're there to work. And, you know, I'm here working every day. And one of the things I don't like about, again, big offices is it's, you know, people know everybody's business. They're talking bad about each other. You're there to do a job. So I made the decision when I first got started. I didn't want to go work for a big agency. I just had no desire. I thought it was all bullshit. Okay? So I don't know where your next question you're going to ask me, but how we got together was, and I've always worked for small boutique firms. And I was holding an open house one day, and lo and behold, this nice lady walked into my open house, and we had a conversation, and we hit it off. There's some energy between us, some vibe that we work really well together. And she told me about her office, and I said,
Someone already recommended me to you before.
I
then-
think so. The word on the street was people were getting to know me as I started again. That was years ago, and started building my brand. I'm always about my brand. And maybe that was one of the reasons when you walked in as well. Maybe you came to ask me, but we had the right connection. And I said, all right, I'll see you Monday morning, and we'll have a discussion. And we did. And I've been with you ever since, actually.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's been great.
Yes, it has been. You've been doing amazing.
Thank you.
The connection with you and Neda, that partnership has just
Yes.
worked out so well.
Yes.
Do you want to share anything else with us?
No, I'm look, all these things that we do on a daily basis to get the word out, you know, I love it. If I know you're in the midst of a recruiting cycle right now, Orna really wants to bring agents in and build this company. If you guys are out there and listening to it, this really is a great office because you do get, let's put it this way, Orna's door is always open. And when I mean always open, it's always open. You just walk up and she will take the time and she's there. And whether it's answering a question for a technical thing or a personal thing, she's there. So, and I don't think you get that as I mentioned in other offices. So as an agent, it's a great place to be. So thank you for actually, you know, doing this. It'll be, you know, Neda and I really appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I love it. So thank you.
Thank you
It was
for the
great
video.
to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
And thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.
And I'm really excited and looking forward to.
We're looking forward to a
else
great,
is
what,
coming.
2020?
2020.
2020.
Yes. All right.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.